There are over 41 species of termites in North America. The two main categories all of these species fall into are either subterranean or drywood termites. All of these termites feed on cellulose in the wood. Their role in this world is to break down wood and enrich the soil. They usually attack houses when all of the surrounding wood has been cleared. However, termites work very slowly. A colony of about 60,000 will eat between 2 and 4 feet of wood in the course of 1 year. I feel I should also mention that there is a species called Formosan termites found in the coastal and Gulf states that can have up to 1 million in a colony and destroy wood 6 times faster than other species. They are also capable of penetrating lead, plaster, mortar, and rubber by secreting acid from their front glands. Surprisingly, termites live in a caste system. There are kings, queens, workers, reproducers, and soldiers. A queen can lay eggs up to 25 years. The workers maintain and feed the colony. Reproducers can replace the queen in a moment's notice and rapidly lay eggs. Soldiers protect the colony from attacks from other insects such as ants. Not too shabby for a group of tiny creatures. When a colony matures to a large capacity, the reproducers are known to swarm and set up a new colony. Although they sprout wings for the journey, they are poor flyers and shed their wings before returning to the soil. The swarming usually happens in the springtime. When there are discarded wings in your windowsill, floor, light fixtures, or beneath doors, you are seeing the telltale signs of termites. To help prevent any termites, there should be no old wood lying around or right up against the house. Unfortunately, common points of entry are door frames, basement windowsills, wooden supports, and wood framing near a concrete-covered, dirt-filled slab. All seams should be patched, and any holes around bolts or pipes in the foundation wall should be filled in with a coal tar pitch. The only way to be completely rid of them is by fumigating the soil and the house. Professionals will most likely use a chemical called Durstban TC. The most common type of termite is the subterranean termite. Their nest is underground, and they require damp, dark environments to survive. A common sign of these subterranean termites are mud tubes that are a whitish cream color. These tubes are a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch wide and are composed of soil, wood particles, and excretions. If you see these tubes on foundation walls, wood framing, or even freestanding, call the specialist. Drywood termites build nests in good wood that is not in contact with the ground. They are usually found in rafters, studs, joists, frames, sheathing, or floorboards. Their colonies are much smaller, generally around 3,000, and it takes them a longer time to do damage. Look around the interior and exterior areas that are close to or in contact with the ground. If you have wood siding in contact with the ground, be suspect. Ideally, the bottom of your siding should end at least 6 inches above the ground. However, cedar and redwood are usually resistant to rot and termite attack. Subterranean termite damaged wood has channels, called galleries, that run parallel with wood grains. These channels are often lined with grayish specks. Drywood termites are suspect by galleries that cut across the grain. Anytime you're inspecting wood for any part of your house, always remember these signs. If your house stands on slab, look for soft spots in baseboard trim as well as around pipe and duct entrances. A colony of carpenter ants can last up to 40 years. The worker ants themselves only live about 5 years, but the queen can live up to 15. These ants do not eat wood. Instead, they excavate it and form very polished-looking galleries. They prefer moist wood, but dry wood is always plan B. While you are looking at exposed wood, look for small piles of sawdust. These ants are very easy to recognize because they are very large ants that are black in color, or perhaps they have a reddish-brown midsection. The only way to control this issue is to locate the nest and destroy it. Try to follow the traffic to see where they are entering and leaving. Wood-destroying beetles, also called powder post beetles, are found all over the U.S., but are more abundant in warm, humid climates. There are two main varieties we see: Lyctids, which only burrow in hardwoods, and Anabids, which can live in both soft and hardwoods. The larvae and grubs feed on the wood and break it down to a powdery residue called frass. They are typically brought in with new construction materials. Look for several small round holes in one area and small piles of frass. A well-established colony can have more than 2 dozen exit holes. If you see powder, poke your awl into the wood and pull up. Infested wood pulls up like thin paper. Stain and mold grow on the surface of wood, causing discoloration. You may often hear the term dry rot when talking about wood. The truth is, there is no dry rot because the decay fungus that caused it needed moisture. Decay fungus is actually microscopic thread-like plants that attack the cell walls of wood. The wood eventually disintegrates and leaves behind crumbly or spongy wood. If wood has to be subjected to the elements or other conditions, it should be chemically treated. Using cedar, cypress, or redwood that is resistant to rot should also be considered. All wood will eventually see some form of these symptoms, so probe your house periodically.